to you. Honorable Suleku, can you take the podium?
Good afternoon, Chair. Thank you very much.
Afternoon.
Chair, mine is just two very sweet ones. The first one was just, I see in terms of the presentation that there is a lot of time frames that in terms of completion of all these undertakings or commitments. My question is that to the presenter is that how all these commitments will actually be met by the said
time frame.
Good afternoon, Chair. Thank you very much.
Afternoon.
If they are not met, what other alternatives is there and what plans are there? And also in terms of the mobile units, is the department looking at adding or is just going to be the 24 and will remain 24, or is there any plans in the future of actually all these units, if you have to consider the Western Cape met by the said, it's very big and to have three, it does not assist us. And the last one, Chair, when the commitments were made or undertakings were made, what was pre-COVID-19, and now we are in COVID-19. I would like the department just when the commitments or undertakings that committed to undertake within their different budget speeches, which of the commitments are not going to be met or due to COVID-19, and what are the plans? Because it does not say because you cannot meet them, they are not needed. They are needed and they need to be implemented. But we understand and we are conscious of the fact that a pandemic, and we would like the department just to highlight to us which ones will be affected, and how are they going to actually remedy the situation post COVID-19.
Okay, are you done? Honorable Slepu, are you done?
I'm done, ma'am. Thank you very much.
Oh, thank you very much. Can we go back to Dodovu if he's fine now? Honorable Dodovu? Okay. Honorable Dodovu is not there. Maybe I must also ask my own questions. What I would like to know from the ministry, one, when it comes to their commitment, there was an undertaking that the projects that they would embark on funding for training of 26,000, which 50% to be young people and women. It was not clear in terms of their presentation if women are catered for. If I can get that clarification. And the other one, I'm happy that they were able to give us the location of the mobile units. But what I would like to know, the criteria used for the location of such mobile units by the department. So those are the two questions so far. Can I then allow the department, because there are no other hands for interaction, can I then allow the department to give us those points of clarity?
Thank you again, Chair. We really appreciate the comment by Honorable Sheikh. It's as a public servant, it's very difficult to get compliments. So when they come, you really appreciate. They make your day. Thank you for that. What's the lifespan of these units and their sustainability? In the past, we had quite a few of these mobile units, and they lasted for about 5-6 years. And you just need to maintain them properly, and that's what we did in the past. So these ones are going to be much more durable because they are these Mercedes-Benz Vitos that are much more bigger, and you can put a number of things in them, the systems that you want to put there. And of course, we're looking at making sure that, given the fact that we don't want people to come to our offices, we want people to stay at home, and given the fact that COVID-19 is going to be with us for a long time, this is a project that will be there for a long, long time. Of course, with funds permitting. I must just also add that the Unemployment Insurance Fund is also is in the process of procuring 8 buses. So each province will have a bus. We already have 2 buses in the department that we use for what we call jobs fair, where we already encourage young people to come to our buses and register for opportunities that are there. So those buses will also be dispatched to the different provinces. And our intention is not clear on the 200 inspectors. We're still intending to appoint these inspectors. However, I indicated that because of the funding and the budget cuts, we will be unable to do so in this financial year, and most probably in the next financial year, because we've just been informed that for the remainder of the MTF, we also, given cuts on our budget, especially on the compensation of employees. So it's going to be really, really tough going forward. But that's why I'm saying we'll keep this on our minds, because we really do need to make sure that we get to other places that we haven't been able to get to. So unfortunately, for now, we're unable to increase the number that we have by the 200 that we promised that we will do. How many of the commitments will be met? When we plan to make sure that all the commitments that we have are met, and that's why once the minister and the deputy minister make a commitment, we translate that into an annual performance plan, and we monitor our plan regularly. We meet with our provincial offices on a quarterly basis to review their performance. So we want to make sure that we meet all these commitments. And I indicated if we're looking at adding more in terms of the mobile units in future, yes, we are looking at adding more, because we think that brick and mortar structures in the new normal, in the new reality, are not going to work. So we need to provide that flexibility to the people that we provide service to. And given the level of unemployment and the rate at which we expect the employment to increase, people are going to have difficulty commuting to our offices. So it makes sense that we go out using these mobile units, to make sure that people get the services that ordinarily, if we were not going through what we're going through, they would get. Which of the commitments are we not going to meet due to COVID-19, and how are we going to remedy that? This is a very difficult question, and most probably what we're not going to meet are our employment targets, because we rely on employers firstly reporting job opportunities, and then we place work seekers or job seekers on those opportunities that have been reported. We're currently observing that a number of companies are in distress, and the CCMA is receiving applications for Section 1, what we call Section 189 applications for retrenchments. So the reality is that there will be less job opportunities for young people, less job opportunities for the people that are going to be retrenched. And that is why it's important that as the exercise that the state is busy with, working with social partners in putting together the economic recovery plan of the country, it's important that that compact is signed off, and all of us commit ourselves that we will work towards building the companies, and then in turn there will be job opportunities. So the area of employment is an area that I'm very concerned about, which I think will have a much more devastating impact given its contribution to poverty. So that's the area that I'm concerned about, and that due to COVID-19 we will not be able to achieve. And how are we going to remedy this? As I indicated, the government, and we are part of this as a Department of Employment and Labor, putting together an economic recovery plan, which will stimulate economic activities, especially in the sectors that are very, very key: agriculture, manufacturing. Those are the core sectors that are able to support employment in any country. So we're working very closely with other government departments and business and labor to address this problem. On the whether our projects cater for women, they do in a very, very big way, Chairperson. Women and young people, we cater for them. The criteria for the location of mobile units, the criteria is based on the demand for our services, and also the location. What we don't want is people commuting for a long period of time. And that's why we use that as part of the criteria. It's the service that is required and the demand for that service, and of course where the place is located. It doesn't make sense that you'll have a mobile unit that is very close to a bigger labor center where there's easy access to the services. So we choose areas where we think that these units are going to add more value. They want to enable us to achieve what we want to achieve in terms of reaching those people that ordinarily wouldn't reach wouldn't reach our offices. So I think those were the questions, Chairperson. Thank you.
Okay. Any other questions from honorable members? It doesn't look like there are, but I do have a question, DG. It's on the issue of budget cuts. I just want to know if there are implications on the Commission for Conciliation and Mediation and Arbitration. How has this impacted on the work of the CCMA and job retention?
Okay, Chair. What we have tried to do as a department, given the importance of the work done by the CCMA in terms of dealing with Section 199 applications and job preservation, we have made it a point that the budget cuts are very, very limited. If we go through the budget cuts of the department, CCMA is the least affected. I think we only took about 5 million, if I remember the figure. But they're very, very, it was very, very, we tried to cushion them to the best of our ability because we understand the work that they do. Secondly, the Unemployment Insurance Fund has allocated 5.6 million to CCMA to enable them to perform the work that they do in terms of the adjudication of the temporary employee relief scheme applications. So it's to support them. And that's how we have made it a point that they continue with the job retention work. But also the job retention work is also performed by Productivity South Africa, and that's where the Unemployment Insurance Fund again has allocated an amount of about 104 million to that entity, with the first tranche of 23 million having been already allocated to them, and the next will be allocated to them in 3 tranches. So that they can continue with the work of job creation and promoting productivity. Yes. Thank you, Chair.
Okay. I'm sure, DG, without doing dialogue with you, I'm just checking if what we are talking about is factored in your adjusted budget.
It is factored in, Chairperson. What we need to do now is that because we have just been informed that there will be additional cuts for the next, for the remainder of the medium-term expenditure framework, we need to factor that in now and see how much that is going to affect them. But for the initial budget cuts that we experienced, 7% of our budget was cut, and we tried to cushion them. And that's what I was referring to when I said they were least affected by the cuts. Them and NETLEC, they were least affected.
Okay. Thank you very much. No follow-ups to those that have asked questions, so that we close the discussion on this report. No follow-up questions.
No, Chair.
Is there someone speaking? No. Thank you very much, DG, Deputy Minister, and also the Minister for the presentation. And we hope that from time to time you will continue doing the good work. And as of now, we are happy with the responses that you have given us. But it doesn't stop there. We will continue calling you, as you know that we need to make sure that all these undertakings are implemented as have agreed to by the department. Thank you very much. If you have other arrangement, as the minister have indicated, we can allow the department to excuse itself. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful day and be safe.
Thank you very much, Chairperson.
Chair.
Yes.
Okay, before the department excuses us, with your permission, Chair, they still have another undertaking that was made this year.
Oh, yes, there are 2 actually. There are
yes.
2. Yes, thank you very much for reminding me. Yes, there are another undertaking. Are you ready, DG or the Deputy Minister? Who's starting first?
No, Honorable Chairperson, I thought that we are getting scot-free on this one.
Sorry.
No, thank you so much, honorable members, honorable Chairperson. As I was saying earlier on, that as a department, we take very seriously and appreciate the oversight work on the undertakings and the commitments we make And we value this as a true service delivery at the doorstep of the communities. So we highly value the work that the committee is doing. And as I was expected, Honorable Chairperson, that to respond on the 5 questions that was posed on us, especially based on what we presented at the NCOP on the 28th of July 2020. So allow me to take this opportunity, Honorable Chairperson, to indicate with regards to related responses. I'm sure at some point the DG will take us through also on technical issues if there is a need for such. But just to give you a brief overview and the introduction of our presentation. Just safely to say that the compensation fund is in the process of structural reform, both at the strategic and organizational redesign point of view. And as a consequence, there will be some systemic challenges, but these are not of major proportions that we cannot handle as a department.
Oh,
I must also say, Honorable Chair.
I just want to say we're experiencing load shedding this side. If I disappear, understand, and you'll allow someone else to take care. Honorable Sheikh, to please take care if I happen to be cut. Continue, Deputy Minister. Sorry for that.
Thank you so much. We are experiencing the same problem, Honorable Chair. But I also have to indicate that the UIF has had the most strain during this pandemic to a point where the resources were almost stretched, and I'm sure you are aware, but we managed to deliver on the commitment we made in terms of the TERS benefit, although with some challenges. We have committed 104,571,000 funding to Productivity SA, which is such one important step in the right direction from our side. And this amount is set aside for business turnaround programs with employment creation initiatives under these circumstances. And this is a direct intervention on to the unfortunate unemployment situation that we are facing as a country currently. And for many years, honorable members, Productivity SA, in collaboration with CCMA and the UIF, managed to save millions of jobs, and it's about time now that these entities reach their full potential and respond to the national duty. And this initiative, Honorable Chairperson, by Public Employment Services, to collaborate with the Department of Education and source donor funding. The Minister has spoken to it, and the DG has at length, because it also came up on what I said to the NCOP. So it's the same content that these mobile units, we secured funding for them. And it has to be, is a commend, from our point of view, it's a commendable effort. And we need more of such creativity and these initiatives, especially in times like this when government resources are strained and almost depleted. So once again, as I said earlier on, Honorable Chairperson, based on the responses, we will safely say we have responded to question 1 as it was alluded to earlier on, and based on the presentation itself, and why the monies, and if you go further to this, you'll realize that the first tranche of that we have dispatched already, dispensed of 23 million to Productivity SA of the 104 million that we had already committed. But I must also, Honorable Chair, I think we needed to actually make a correction on the figures that we have actually presented to you. On table 3, on trench number 3, instead of 49 million, we're supposed to have written 41 million. So it's supposed to be 41 million, but we will make a correction. We will resubmit and with a corrected version, because it then takes the money up. It's a typographical error, but it changes the initial intention, because we have committed 104 million, and if you include the debt amount, it will be 112 million. So we needed to correct that. Already this money was dispensed of on the 20 in June, as I've alluded to when I was making my presentation to the NCOP on the 28th of July, that we had already made a payment to Productivity SA. On the 15th of June, we had already paid them, dispensed the first tranche to them. So this is in a nutshell what has happened. And we are saying to the committee as earlier on that the fund is also strengthening its online application of an uptick in claims for those employers and healthcare practitioners in particular who will be experiencing challenges in accessing the Comp Easy system. The fund is embarking on a national campaign to assist stakeholders, and the fund has rolled out this Comp Easy system, which was commissioned by the SABC Education to roll out the national campaign. And this campaign had started in July of 2020, and it is anticipated that by the end of September 2020, it will be ending. But over and above that, Honorable Chairperson and honorable members, just to give you a glimpse of what has happened in terms of the campaign itself, the information is not necessarily here what I've given to you, but in terms of the campaign that we undertook with SABC, we have managed to get a response from SABC in terms of the reach of the campaign itself. I must indicate that the reach was at 66.3%, which was initially 2 million people who had heard our advert at least once, but effective reach was at 39.4%, which means that 3.5 million people who have heard the advert more than 3 times, and average frequency at 5.1, which is the number of times the designated audience has heard the advert. So there has been some work that has been done, and we are getting feedback on the people who are receiving the message, which is intended for them to receive. But if there are any further information that the honorable members would like to get more, or especially on the compensation fund, we can elaborate further on that if honorable members would like us to engage further on that. Thank you so much, Chairperson.
Thank you very much, Honorable Deputy Minister. Can I allow DG if he does have some points to add to the presentation? DG?
Thank you, Chairperson. No, the DM has covered everything, Chairperson. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much, DG, for that. Now, I know that I have 2 people that are having challenges of connectivity. Honorable Sheikh, which I'm not sure if she's still with us, and also Honorable Sileku. Can I then allow the honorable members that are still connected to interact with the presentation?
Yes, Chair.
Oh, you are back. Okay. Honorable Sheikh.
Yeah,
Who else? Who else? It's only Honorable Sheikh. Can I give it to you?
My hand is up.
Back. All right. Your hand is up. I can see it now.
Thank you.
No other hands? Okay. Honorable Sheikh.
Yeah, Chair. I think thank you very much, Chairperson, and thank you, Deputy Minister, for the presentation. Chair, just I think this question I'm asking is kind of related to the one you asked previously.
Mm-hmm.
In terms of the UIF committed to the 349 million funding training for 26,000. While it said that 50% is targeted to be youth and women, I think in terms of the explanations that are being provided, there are explanations, especially in terms of youth participation, but not in terms of women. Maybe, I don't know if I'm missing it somewhere in the document, but perhaps if they can just clarify that target in terms of women. And then, yeah, no, Chair, I think that was my issue. Thank you.
Okay. Honorable Sileku?
Oh, thank you very much, Chair. Chair, on point number 4, to support the 6,000 SMMEs to improve productivity and to preserve and create jobs, is it SMMEs that are already in operation, or is it going to be new SMMEs? Can the department just clarify?
Okay. That's the only question.
Yes, Chair. That's the
Okay.
point. Thank you very much.
On the point raised by Honorable Sheikh, what I would suggest to the department to respond to that question fully is to ask the department, when they resend the report correcting the figures, they are also able to give us breakdown of those that were given to young people and those that were given to women in terms of the funding for training, and also to projects that they have identified per province. Are they led by women, or else are they led by young people? For us, it's very important to see how far are we in terms of achieving the executive undertaking by the department. Can I give it to you, Honorable Deputy Minister, or else I'll start with the DG and finish off with you?
Kim Tetwa, Chair.
Oh, I beg. All right, Honorable Tetwa.
Sorry, Chair. While I add on your question, Chair, there is a sector that we normally don't cover, people living with disability as well, because we need to indicate as well what program is there for them. Thank you very much, Chair.
Okay. That's it. Honorable Minister, I'm giving it to you. It's for you to delegate.
Thank you, Honorable Chairperson. I think at this point, I'll give it to the DG to respond to all the issues as raised by honorable members. Thank you.
Thank you. DG?
Thank you very much, Chairperson. I can't take it back to the DM.
You can't. You don't delegate upwards.
Let me start with the last question, Chair, which was also last question where Honorable Mtetwa also weighed in on the people with disability. We have...
we can't hear you. Okay.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. We have a program which is which falls under public employment services, where we firstly fund organizations that are supporting the disability community. For instance, your national body for the blind and other organizations that support disability community. Secondly, we have our own supported employment enterprise factories that employ purely people with disability. And we manufacture furniture, linen, and we have these factories across the country, with only one province where we don't have a factory, which is in Mpumalanga. And these factories, as I indicated, they employ people with disability. I would like to invite honorable members to visit some of these factories where you'll see what they manufacture, beautiful furniture at a very reasonable price compared to what you'll get at other retails, but the quality is also the same, if not better. And then what we'll do, Chair, I think we'll do that breakdown that you spoke about in terms of gender and we'll now add disability.
Yes.
On the support for SMMEs, Is it new ones or those that are in existence? It's both, because some of the challenges that SMMEs experience is availability of working capital. Now, we have an instrument that is called High Impact Social Fund, where we provide that working capital, and of course, you have to apply that scheme. Scheme is administered by the PIC. So we cater for that, and these new ones, we also need to make sure that once you've established them, you involve them in a support, or you provide a support mechanism so that they don't fail. You don't just establish and then leave. You need to make sure that there's sustainability. So we cater for both the new and those that are existing. I think the first question raised by Honorable Sheikh, I think that question we can only answer it much more better when we have done that breakdown, and in terms of that 26,000. I think let's do that breakdown and resubmit the information to the committee. I'll leave it there, Chair.
Thank you very much. No addition, DM. Deputy Minister.
Thank you. Sorry, Honorable Chair. I think at this point in time, Honorable Chair, as the DG has already alluded to the fact that I think the work that we do, more honorable members might not necessarily be abreast or glued up to, not necessarily the work relating to disability. You will be fascinated actually of what they do. We, especially those you call intellectually challenged, the work that they do. And the fact that Western Cape provincial government, we have a contract with the Western Cape provincial government to supply hospital linen to them. We do PPEs, we do, as the DG has already said, you will love it. But the support, we will need your support also to lobby. We will have to lobby the select committee that even other departments must really focus. The furniture that you see in the houses of honorable members can be actually customized and be sought from, be bought from our SEEs. These are people.
For you.
These are people.
Sorry, Honorable Deputy Minister. Uzandi Moeli is disturbing us.
Yes, Dimbonile Nam, Chairperson. So we will have to invite, I agree with the DG, Honorable Chair, we will have to invite a select committee that you can go and see, like in the Eastern Cape, that's where they do the steel is done in Potchefstroom in the Northwest, but the assembling point is in the Eastern Cape, where they do school desks, chairs for young from, everybody. You will be so fascinated. Office furniture that they do and house furniture, household furniture. So we would really appreciate one oversight visit or to one of our, in Limpopo, any other province other than Mpumalanga, because Mpumalanga has long been on the pipeline to have their own SEE, but they are sorting out their issues at the moment. But we will have to take this opportunity, Honorable Chair, to thank you heartily for having set aside time to invite us to come and account to you. We are combat ready. We are available all the time. We hitting the ground running at all times, and we assure you of our cooperation and support as the executive authority and as a department in particular. But thank you so much for having us. And I'm sure we will come back with further details and further progress report on the work done by the departments based on our commitment to the NCOP. I thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Deputy Minister, again for availing yourself. We are seriously humbled about your preparation for for the presentation itself and your presence in the meeting. I can agree with you on the issue of a factory for people with disability in East London, West Bank, which was launched by the former minister and one of your officials, Sam Morotoba. It's a really good work by the department. When they were launching, I was there. I can confirm on that one. On that note, now, Deputy Minister and the DG, you are released. Thank you very much.
So
Thank
much,
you very much,
Honorable
Chairperson.
Chair and honorable members. Thank you.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
Thank you, Deputy Minister. Then we can go to our third point of the agenda, the consideration and adoption of Matlala Petition report. I'm sure you did receive the copy, and I am sure that you have looked at it. Now it's your time to make comments and corrections to it, and thereafter we adopt the report. Honorable members. Honorable Mtetwa, you didn't drop your hand, and then I will assume that you want to speak again. Honorable Mtetwa?
Whenever I'm called in, Chair, to speak, I will speak.
Okay. Any other hands? We are dealing with the report of Matlala. You're the petition report.
Chair.
Any takers, Honorable Sheikh?
Yeah, Chair, I think in terms of the recommendations that we made with that report was that we should do an in-loco inspection.
Yes.
The two sites, no?
Yes.
And then I see the report has a point of discussion and take note of the following given the COVID-19 pandemic.
Yes, I'm allowing you, assuming that you have read the report, you have areas that you'd like to interact with and also looked at the recommendations.
No, Chair, I was just pointing it out because it is outside of any of our discussion. But just to indicate that I'm in agreement with what is being said.
Yes.
In terms of this additional bit to the report, given the COVID-19 situation.
Yes.
But it does not, and I think the report is also indicating that we still have to do the in-local inspection.
Yes.
And that is something that we...
Outstanding.
Yeah, it's still outstanding, Chair. But having said that, Chair, I think I was part of the meeting that dealt with this petition. And then I would also move for the adoption of this report, Chair. Thank you.
Thank you. Can I have a seconder of the report?
Mtetwa, Chair.
Yes, Honorable Mtetwa.
Yes, Chair, there's nothing much has changed.
And some of us were juggling in between meetings. We thank you for that, and it has made our day. The meeting is therefore adjourned.
Chair.
Yo.
The Abatembu petition, are you dealing with that one?
We have done, no, not Abatembu. Matlala.
No, I see the agenda. It says point number 4.
Point number 4, where is that? Just a minute, I'm going to be with you now. A few minutes. Can you so be on my rescue?
Yes, Honorable Seleki, with the agenda was changed. We no longer have the Abatembu report.
Yes, the only one.
Okay, no.
It was only one report. I changed the agenda yesterday, and I did send it to members. Honorable Seleki.
Yes, I've got the latest in front of me,
Okay.
and the point 4 is closure.
Oh, no, it's noted, Chair. I believe I was excluded to the amended agenda.
Oh, I'm sorry for that. It was not deliberate. It was not deliberate.
No,
Thank you
no
very
harm done. Thank you very much.
So the meeting is adjourned. Please, honorable members, be safe. We still wash hands. We still protect ourselves. Social distancing. Thank you.
Thank you, Chairperson. Enjoy your day.
Thank you, Chair.
There is no day. It's another meeting. Sure.